Alrighty, we are officially live, and if you missed the opening video, just let us know. We will be more than happy to get back into that. John made a good point about not being able to see it, so I am going to apologize. We're having a lot of technical difficulties tonight, so I'm going to have to actually get chat going on my phone because it's not wanting to work in OBS. OBS is a piece of shit, and I don't like it. So, if you are here from the Facebook group, then let it also be known that I put a warning in there that there is obscenities. There's use of vulgar language. Most of it comes from me. Sometimes Mikey, not so much John. I don't think. Um, you know.
I've been drinking tonight, boys. We're gonna. I'm just kidding.
So Mikey will be joining us in a little bit. But this is our third episode of our podcast with the Blood Brothers, where we talk about spooky stuff, paranormal, and all kinds of weird oogie boogie stuff. And tonight's topic would be cryptids. And with us, we actually have our mod with us tonight, and that is Wasabi Continuum. And cryptids is something that she's actually pretty passionate about, and we actually it was actually suggested by her that we do this, so we put it in the wheel of ideas and gave it a spin, and that's what came up, cryptids. So Wasabi, thank you for joining us tonight as our guest.
Thank you for having me.
So all right, but yeah, our very first guest, and it's our mod. So, but yeah, so as far as modding goes, I'll try to do duties on that, and then and I'll try to keep up with it on my phone. But like I said, everything's kind of acting wonky. If you're looking at my avatar, I'm sorry. My camera is all kinds of not working with OBS, and not exactly sure what's going on. So you get David Bowie's body with an astronaut helmet, which I think is a pretty good representation of Captain Bowie. And then we have Mikey, who just joined in, but I think he's coming in as an EVP, which is fairly fitting. So, Michael, if you're there, give us a sign.
Are you still wiping?
No, I got done about 5 minutes ago.
Why didn't it take you so long to get in here? Damn.
5 minutes ago.
I had to get just hard to explain.
Well, it's okay.
You did wipe too deep, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, that's called unlocking.
Well,
unlocking? What is unlocking?
Yeah.
You're laughing, but does anybody else know what that is?
John does.
I would imagine it has something to do with a key going in a keyhole. I don't know, honestly.
See? Yeah, so John knows. No, he doesn't.
Well, I'm trying to pull up the Twitch. Hold on a second. God.
You missed the intro. You're
distracting me.
You're upsetting me.
There we go.
Well, this has gotten off to a wonderful start.
Yeah, well,
Hauntedness.
Adult content not suitable for children.
Mm-hmm.
I did give a warning. We say the F word, which is fun.
But no, I don't.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I'm mourning now.
Oh, I need to learn about Crest's tooth whitening. Excuse me. Hold on.
Oh my God. Wait, you're getting an ad from the video?
Mike, I think that you're on the wrong video, dude, because we're not set up for ads.
I was about to say, that's awesome, Doug.
No. We've gained a few followers in the past week, but we're not up to an affiliate or anything like that yet. It's a very long struggle. I'm not pretty enough, and I'm not simpy enough. So.
Oh my God.
So.
Yep.
Everybody's really breaking.
Christy, you are breaking up something fierce.
Intergalactic planetary.
You did sound exactly like Enter.
Hasta la vista, turd nugget.
So we may have lost Christy, our very first guest. So,
oh,
Michael, do you want to see the intro? Did you get to watch the intro?
No, it won't let me go back.
No. You don't have to go back. Just keep watching the stream. Keep your eyes on the screen. Guess what?
I'm
All right. Now we're back. Okay, I got to keep showing that video. If they ask to see that video, I'm going to keep showing it.
Yeah.
So, all
That's
right.
cool.
Alrighty. So, cryptids. Christy, are you there? Did we lose you?
God, I hope so.
Yeah. Bless her heart.
Shut up, Michael.
Oh, there she is. I didn't see. I told you I'd bring her back.
Can you give us a sign if you're there, Christy?
Am I muted?
No. Okay, we got you now.
You're good. You're good.
Carol Ann.
Oh my God. So whose topic was this?
Go to the
Cody?
light.
It was Christy's topic.
What?
It was Christy's topic, and that's what the wheel selected. So I'm just gonna
What's the topic?
cryptids, Michael. Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
Did someone say crypto?
Cryptid.
Cryptid.
Oh,
Oh God.
oh. Excuse me.
So, Bigfoot coin. Would it be Bitfoot? Bitfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're obviously very professional. Okay. So Christy, what is your favorite? And I won't put you on the spot anymore tonight, but since it's your topic that you selected, what is your favorite cryptid or favorite cryptids?
Honestly, probably Mothman.
Duh.
I was about to say it better be Mothman.
Okay. A woman of few words. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, I guess I can kick it off from there. Because I would say I was probably just as excited about it, and
Oh yeah.
we're always big on cryptids and everything. So, I think what I'll do is we can go around, kind of like the Midnight Society, and I think the first question that we can answer is, do we believe in cryptids? So, cryptids, also you have to base that into cryptozoology. And basically what that means is that cryptozoology is any animal that has yet to be discovered or confirmed, and that is how they get that from. So I guess the idea of cryptids, are they real? I would say yeah. I mean, I think it's all a matter of perspective on that, and what you would really define as a cryptid. I don't know if I believe in like Loch Ness Monster, but there's obviously animals that we continue to discover time and time again. And while we're on this, I'm going to go ahead and throw like things like demons and and aliens into the mix too, because I think that all kind of falls under the same category. Because when people go cryptid hunting, that's what they typically look for too. So, and then as humans, we are also part of the animal kingdom, though we don't want to admit it most of the time.
Although our behavior would
are
stay
very,
with that.
yes, we are very animalistic. So, going around, John, do you believe in cryptids?
I think so. Yeah, especially with that definition. Because you got to think like we know more about our moon than we do our oceans.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
that's terrifying.
The stuff that they've had video of from the deep oceans that they're able to get, we can't even go that deep all the way, or at least the cameras won't really work well. But the stuff that I've seen down there is just it's just as crazy as anything on the screen,
Yeah, I mean,
And,
it's wild.
I mean, and you look at the dinosaurs. We have bones of evidence that the dinosaurs were real. So there's I mean, we know that it was real, so what's to say that there's not some kind of strange, strange evolution of it? It's evolved down, maybe to be a little bit more sleek, smaller, able to blend in. I don't know. I think it's just too much. There's too many witnesses, too many pictures. I think most of them are probably real.
Mm-hmm.
Dinosaurs.
I
God
wanna
put those there to
believe.
test our faith.
So that would mean that they're real. You know what I think dinosaurs are?
What are dinosaurs?
Giant chickens.
Giant chickens. Well,
Yeah, I think a T-Rex was a
should've named
delicious
it
ass
that.
chicken.
yeah.
So,
Well,
Gary,
he's
And we
fully
still have the
American, so I
capillaries.
support him.
do you see
It'd
that?
have to be the kicking chicken because they don't have very long arms. They can't be the punching chicken.
You said the T-Rex is all American.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
as American as anything gets.
Do you think that? Do you think that a T-Rex would? Do you think he'd be pretty American today? Like, do you think? How do you think the T-Rex would be today? Would he be domesticated? And
Yeah, I bet you he would.
Little
I
brain.
hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think humans would really bother him too much. Buffalo, he'll go after those. But
yeah. All right. So, John, does that conclude what you if you think that they are real?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so.
So going around the table, the imaginary table, Michael, do you believe that cryptids are real?
Will told me that Chupacabra is real.
He did tell us that, yes.
I believe Will. He didn't lie to me.
I don't think Will would ever lie about anything. He was almost honest to a fault.
Yeah, probably.
He told me that I was too ugly to have a girl as pretty as I did. So, yeah, I mean, I believe Will. I believe that he, yeah. So, is that what you're basing it on? You believe cryptids are real because Wilfredo Hernandez?
I mean, is there a better reason?
Well, that's what we would call, eyewitness testimony. I would love to find Will. I know we've tried to find Will, but I would really want to get his opinion on cryptids and really the story of the Chupacabra from his perspective.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He said it's real.
You know how the story would start off, though, right? He would say,
I can't remember.
he would say, "Man, I was walking off." And then it would go, and then the Chupacabra, no, the fucking Chupacabra showed up.
Oh man.
The goat sucker.
All right. So, Michael, do you believe in cryptids?
Yes.
Okay.
I gave you my answer.
Okay. Christy, going around to you now. I know that you said that your favorite was Mothman and you left it to that. Do you believe in cryptids?
I believe in the possibility. And I kind of grew up, my dad is really big into that, and I kind of grew up believing. So I guess as I got more knowledge and everything, I don't believe in them, but I don't disbelieve. I just have a very open mind about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But now here's the thing, though. If we discover a cryptid and we confirm that it's a cryptid, is it still a cryptid?
No.
No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
So-
not according to definition, no.
So can you
It
imagine?
just becomes a discovered species.
So could you imagine, like somebody finds like Bigfoot and they're like, I found him. I found a cryptid, and then he's no longer a cryptid anymore. Do you know how many disappointed people there would be?
Yeah, that would take the fun right out of it.
Yeah, like all the players are like, well, fuck, he's real. This ruins everything. I cannot build a foundation on speculation anymore.
Well, maybe, Doug, that's exactly what's been happening.
So, Imagine that you're Bigfoot.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm imagining.
Okay.
Dramatic pause.
I like where this is going.
Did you all imagine that you were Bigfoot?
Yes.
I imagine some stuff. Yeah.
I imagine myself without a shirt on.
All right. See, that's what I wanted you all to do. I just wanted you to pretend that you were Bigfoot for a second.
I had my flannel on.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Now, what did you say? What did you say, Christy?
I said I had my flannel shirt on.
You had your flannel shirt on. I just imagined that I was stomping like a bunch of feet prints into a bunch of mud. That's all I. Yeah.
Playing in a puddle.
Yeah.
Like,
I was imagining I was eating deer and scaring people naked.
Let's see. Well, we have Cryptic Gizmo in the chat. Welcome, Cryptic Gizmo. He says, I messed up. I imagined that I was Mothman. So as Mothman, what did you do? Hold on. John, what did you do whenever you imagined that you were Bigfoot?
I just went swimming.
You just...
Because I would imagine it's very hot. With all that fur.
Did you go swimming with the Loch Ness Monster?
well, I'm not gonna. I don't want to kiss and tell.
Hey, that would be something. Imagine Bigfoot riding that.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I did the backstroke, and somebody thought that there was a Loch Ness monster coming, swimming right beside me.
It's not the Loch Ness Monster. What's that fart in Anchor Mary's like? Ew! It smells like Sasquatch's dick.
Hey, I think it's just tape. Oh man!
Oh Lord, this is So Cryptic Gizmo, if you're still in here, what did you imagine that you were doing whenever you imagined yourself as Mothman? I hope that you were sitting in a tree branch, fluttering your wings. So, okay, so I know we got really off track, but I wanted to put you all in the mind of a Sasquatch, and we just realized we've answered the question. Can we take Bigfoot seriously? And the answer is no.
No.
All right. So, speaking about Bigfoot, there's actually speculation that Bigfoot might be an alien. And Mikey, who is kind of like our resident alien expert, who has supposedly seen a gray, if you listened to our last podcast, Michael, do you believe that Bigfoot may possibly be an alien?
Well, there is something really interesting if you want to pull it up.
Okay.
Do y'all know about the missing 411? It's a spooky thing that happens in America. And
I do not.
It does have crossover with Bigfoot lore.
Okay. So what am I looking up again?
Look up the missing 411. 411.
Okay.
It's a book. It's a documentary, and some of the cases are beyond eerie. It'll shock you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's neat about this is these are actually documented. So when you're dealing with demonology or cryptids or aliens, you don't have a lot of after effects. You don't have dead people showing up where you can conclusively say that this was an encounter with an alien, this was an encounter with a demon. But the missing 411, you do find these dead people, and the circumstances surrounding their death is beyond explanation.
Okay.
And the reason,
How so?
well,
Please explain.
Well, yeah, I was actually going to read right here on the. It says,
Oh, okay.
people are going missing from America's national parks under mysterious circumstances, and the National Park Service is obstructing attempts to investigate these events. At least that's the claims made by author David Paulides and his Missing 411 series of books. Paulides, I hope I'm saying it. I'm pretty sure it's Paulides. Has classified over 1,400 missing persons cases under the Missing 411 label. At its core, missing 411 is the vague claim that something unusual is occurring related to deaths and disappearances in national parks. The concept has been steeped in the milieu of conspiracy and the supernatural. Disappearances frequently appear. Pleiades frequently appears on the paranormal-oriented radio shows and podcasts to discuss it. Well, and let's see here. This is actually it's actually a skeptical investigation into him on this article. So, the skepticalinquirer.org. Let's see here. When pressed for a casual explanation as to the why that's happening, he remains evasive. He sees his role as an investigator pointing to a problem, not a cause. Alien abduction, ghost involvement, fairy kidnappers, and trans-dimensional chupacabra can all be swapped in and out as possible explanations for this apparent mystery. So he is kind of like all over the place for that.
Well, in all honesty, though, he does do a very good job.
Okay.
And to his credit, that he doesn't interject a lot of his own idea. I mean, I don't know that you can fault him for leaving things, open to interpret, because, I mean, the circumstances surrounding these dead bodies and where they were last seen are beyond conventional explanation.
And I had actually listened to a podcast about a month ago about this, and the majority of the missing persons and the dead bodies are found in or around cave systems.
Yes.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Let's see here. It's actually a Joe Rogan clip. Sam Tripoli on the Missing 401 last footage, Oregon border. Yeah, this is all new to me. I'd actually never even heard of this, and I typically I'm all about that kind of stuff, but let's see here.
Need to catch up on your podcast.
Well, I actually listened to Mysterious Radio, and it's a really good one, and it's actually based in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Ooh.
I like Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast AM. Let's see.
So
here.
Missing 411 is the number of people that have been abducted?
Yeah, and it's all really weird because they all have a lot of similar characteristics. German-born.
Are you not familiar
German
with it, John?
background, excuse me.
411?
Highly intelligent.
No.
And I don't know how
listening
weird you want to
in
get, bro.
wonderful
I want to
suspense.
get weird.
Okay, bro. They think this might be some time-traveling Nazi shit, bro.
So Missing 411 is the number of people that
Well,
have
that
been...
told me
Yeah.
nothing. Let's see here. That's some Nazi shit. All right.
Hey,
trying to
they were into some spooky stuff too.
Well, yeah, the Nazis were absolutely. Yeah, they were into some very spooky stuff. Let's see here.
And part of that missing 411, there was a case. It was a female park ranger. She had been sent, she would check. I think there were 13 or 14 different campsites that were spaced anywhere from 4 to 20 miles apart, and she would go up, and all the time she would find empty campsites or tents where people had it looked like they just kind of ran away, left all of their stuff. And these people would be missing for months and even years, and then they would find their remains in some of the cave systems and things like that, or right around the cave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's interesting is, there's a plethora of people that have fallen victim to this, but even the most knowledgeable and experienced hunters and whatever, they have been victims. So it's across the board.
Let's see here.
Yeah, with a lot of those, it just looked like the camps were just left in a hurry.
Well, yeah, I'd be in a hurry too.
Does it detail any kind of reasons for death?
Well, some of those things are what's most shocking about it is the cause of death. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the examples in front of me, but yeah, I mean,
there's physical trauma, disembowelment, beheading, any kind of.
No. So what's interesting about the 411 cases is they're not they're not easily explained because it isn't that. It isn't an attack by a grizzly bear. It isn't, mauling. It's otherwise normal activity that was interrupted, and common is one person is just separated from the group for a moment, just a moment. Like, hey, I'm gonna take a pee, right?
Yeah, that's always when they get you.
Well, but it's not just that it's not just that they disappear, and they literally just there's some of these cases have had really intricate manhunts and turned up nothing, and then later just down the road, boom, But that's what's common about these cases is the lack of an attack by a grizzly bear or otherwise.
Do you know what this reminds me of? I may mispronounce it, but the Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia, or Soviet.
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of. Just the story that I'm hearing. I don't know anything else about it, just from what y'all are saying, but that's what it reminds me of.
Well, what's interesting about why it interjects with Bigfoot or the swamp monkey or whatever they call, skunk monkey, whatever it's called,
skunk ape.
But
skunk.
Yeah. There's crossover territories in a lot of these cases, so.
It's I'm trying to think of his name, and I'd have to pull it up. There was actually a guy I was listening to, and he was talking about actually on that Mysterious Radio podcast. And out in Middle Tennessee, supposedly, there is, of course, burial mounds. And I guess what they're trying to say, though, is that burial mounds are actually kind of like communities and homes for like big feet. And I guess
big feet.
Bigfoot.
I know.
Bigfoot. Bigfoot.
No, I'm using it in the plural. Big feets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
We're not doing big feets. I don't like.
Okay, so we can change that to large feets, if that's what we. So, but anyways, so the large-footed creature.
Skunk apes. We're gonna do this.
Actually, it's stank ape, but it's
stank ass.
It's
a Sam Squanch, okay? It's Sam Squanch.
A ham sandwich. It's so anyway. So if you were to try to go view these Indian burial mounds, and apparently, people have tried to investigate it and go look at it. And let me try to see if I can actually pull that up. But it's if you try to actually go view it and see it, then supposedly the government will try to detain you, get you away from it. But if you go too far, they will shoot and kill. And I guess what they're trying to say is that it is a almost kind of like a hub area, or like or kind of like just like a protection area for for Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And there's Bigfoot families out there, and they see a lot of sightings out there with like children and stuff, and people are very adamant, like baby Bigfoot. It's they see a lot of that out there and witness it. Let's see here, Middle Tennessee.
I want to say I'm actually in Middle Tennessee right now, so I was wondering what town it was near.
That's when I'm Bigfoot home. Let's see here. I gotta see if I can find it. Let's see here. Okay. What I could do is try to pull up that podcast episode and see if I can possibly link
Jamie.
Jamie. Yep. Bigfoot and burial mounds. Let's see here. Yeah, apparently it was in Middle Tennessee. I'm not exactly sure as to what. If I remember correctly, the guy never gave the information as to where it was, so go figure. But
I would say it's near Murfreesboro.
well, and it might have been Murfreesboro, but he said that he could not disclose it because it was a danger to him and a danger to others, like they would probably all say. But I guess there's like a very large, like, I wouldn't say military presence around it, but if you were to try to go there, then you would not be met with kindness. Let's see here. Bigfoot and burial mounds. What do they have to do with one another? Maybe nothing, but I can't help but think they might be related. Let's see here.
Well, if you don't hear from me tomorrow, you know where I went.
Yeah. Well, you're also right near. Are you going to Kentucky or anything?
No, I'm
Okay.
in Middle Tennessee.
As you were going to Kentucky, you should have actually passed the Bell Witch Cave. So. Let's see here. Many reports include things that a lot of squatchers will leave out. Anomalous bursts of lights at the conclusion of the sighting. UFO reports in the same area. Sometimes glowing red eyes are described. It's not really telling anything about burial mounds. Let's see here.
What town is the Bell Witch Cave in?
I'm not sure. I don't think you're allowed to actually go to the Bell Witch Cave now, though. I think they don't have anybody really monitoring that. Let's see here. Tennessee. Nothing for Tennessee. That's
We
weird.
petitioned Chrissy to get snatched.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're going to have a sacrifice, I mean, that's probably a good one.
Just think of me fondly.
I don't know about that.
You know what's interesting about Bigfoot, and it's probably one of the most common characteristics of him, is that how remarkably timid the creature is, and it's really only when you show aggression or you point a gun or anything like that any of the stories say that it becomes ferocious.
Well, yeah, you've seen Harry and the Hendersons, haven't you?
That's a good movie. All right. Well, okay, so right here is a supposed video of a Bigfoot near an Indian burial mound in Upper Cumberland, Tennessee, Baxter, Tennessee. So let's see here.
Do you see that?
Do you say that?
Kinda, yeah.
I'm afraid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hola?
This is one of those jump scare videos. I'm
Oh, that was
Against the wall.
bullshit. John, did you make that?
Oh, I don't have a go-kart.
No. So, but yeah, but then there's also now recent speculation of Bigfoot being an alien. So I don't know. Yeah, and that's the reason why he's able to like disappear so fast. Also, hey Brett, in the chat, y'all talk about the Appalachian Mountains yet? Dude, this shit is all in the Appalachian Mountains.
We're saving some of them for the southern monsters.
Yeah, actually, we are doing southern folklore and southern monsters too, so we'll have that on there too. But yeah,
Us mountain folk got a lot of spooky monsters.
we got too much creepy shit out here. I tell you what.
So
do the
so
do.
I want to kind of redirect it a little bit. So I'm saying that some people have said that Bigfoot could be an alien. Do you think Mothman could be an alien? Because I've seen that as well.
Let's see here. I did a fat deep dive on them the other night. It actually stressed me out. Did you?
Hey, John, would you consider interdimensional beings to be aliens? Because that's how I feel they are.
I mean,
I think their lore implies that they're perhaps interdimensional, as opposed to extraterrestrial.
Right. Well, I would say that. I mean, we kind of loosely use the term alien as anything not of this world, right? Of Earth.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to speak. Yeah.
I think I would agree with you.
Yeah, I am. So in Mothman lore, it seems to be something that has knowledge that it otherwise shouldn't, or has prophetic visions.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot to Bigfoot possibly being a interdimensional being.
Right.
That possibly just comes in. What'd you say?
Said I would certainly view Mothman as interdimensional since he is a harbinger.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I actually believe, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think I believe in Mothman. So and the way the lore of Mothman goes is that if he does show up, then that's usually a sign of a premonition of something bad to come. But as far as it goes, I don't know if I really believe in Mothman. I think actually they were able to capture some footage long time ago that they confirmed was Mothman, but then later on down the line proved that it was actually like I believe an owl. So I don't know. It's I love Mothman. I love the idea of Mothman, but and that's what I was going to talk about too is West Virginia. And also Brett said he was researching the Appalachian TikTok side and the mountains, and he was says it stressed him out. Getting lost in Appalachia would probably stress anybody out. It's definitely like a wild frontier. And then I also wanted to point out that Cryptic Gizmo had a very good point in chat, saying that it sounds more like people are getting lost in massive forests and caves, and if there is a presence of authorities, it's trying to keep people from getting lost or hurt while investigating, which I could probably, definitely believe that. But yeah,
if you're ever lost in the Appalachians, find water and stay near it.
Run away from Banjo.
Well, I don't know that I'd run from them, but
well, that's more in Georgia. That movie actually took place in Georgia. So, so West Virginia though, and have you guys ever been to like West Virginia or actually gotten to stay in West Virginia or go around West Virginia? Like,
nope.
Yeah,
I've driven through it. That's about it.
So, I don't know if Michael can, attest to this or not, but so West Virginia, it's almost like if J.R.R. Tolkien got fucked up on moonshine and then decided to write his Fantasyland. But that's about how it is.
Man, that sounds awesome to me.
Well, but I mean, it really is like, I mean, whenever you go to West Virginia and it's almost like going to a different world. It doesn't look like anywhere else I'd ever really been to.
No.
But you're talking about like, I'm sorry, Christy?
Well, I just said they're a different breed.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a different breed. Yeah. But, whenever you get out there, I mean, you're talking about, like, real mountain folk, and I mean, like, real mountain folk. And I'm not saying that like a bad thing, but, I had to work in West Virginia for about a week, I think, and it blew my mind because like the pressure was just so crazy there. But so as you're traveling, like the interstates are going like straight up peaks. Like, I mean, like you're going up mountains and down mountains, like it's not like a casual drive down the mountain. Like it's like you're dropping off the mountain. Going
for anyone who's not familiar with that, you have these sand traps all along there.
Yeah. And just to catch you.
Yep, those are for the runaway semis. I mean, I actually saw it happen. It's nuts when that happens.
It's yeah, but they're everywhere in West Virginia. And then the thing about West Virginia is that rather than have you go up certain mountains because they're so treacherous, they literally made tunnels that go right through the mountains. So like you're driving through all these like really compact, enclosed tunnels, and if you're not ready for like heights and claustrophobia, I mean, West Virginia will fuck with you. And you would go miles and miles and miles and miles and miles without any kind of like real civilization. And the nicest town I found there, like, it was nice because they had a Hampton Inn. That was like a big deal there. But I was going to say, just kind of like summarize, I mean, West Virginia is so untouched, that if something was going to be there, like a Mothman or like a Sasquatch or
Jersey Devil wanting to find something.
Yeah. I mean, you would probably find that in West Virginia. I remember whenever we were traveling for work, we actually found a guy that we believe was dead on the side of the road in West Virginia. And he was laying right in the middle of the road. Well, then it was during the time of COVID. So we all call each other and, because we weren't allowed to ride with each other, which in hindsight, we really should have anyways. But, we see somebody just laying in the middle of the street, I say middle of the street up in the mountains. And we call each other. Well, we had this old guy that worked with us, and he was like in charge of like center store resets and stuff like that. And he says, do not pull over. Do not help him. And, we're like, why? Like what, this guy's probably dead or something. He looked dead. And so he goes, they're gonna grab you whenever you get out there, like they're gonna steal your shit. He was like, think about it. Like you're in the middle of nowhere. They have no access to anything. They want your shit. And they may do worse. Who knows? So my dumbass, I didn't pull over to look at him, but I turned around because I was worried, and turned around. He was not there in the middle of the road anymore. He was gone, but then we saw like weird, oh man, I know I have pictures of it. I'll have to pull up pictures, or at least send them to you guys. But, and if there's anybody in the chat wants to see the pictures too, but like, I mean, and you can ask Christy, I mean, I was sending her videos and pictures of what was going on there. And there was like weird, like sculptures, like everywhere, like, like sculptures of like dragons and like you would find like abandoned houses with like, baby Jesus and like the Last Supper and stuff. I mean, like with statues out there like that. And West Virginia is a weird ass place. I know it's about cryptids, but West Virginia is wild. So I mean, if we were going to find something out there, now there's other big things out there in West Virginia too, besides just Mothman. But there's also the Mothman Museum out there, which Christy and I are going to try to get to. So
Field trip.
So take a look
Absolutely.
take a look at chat. Brett says it's like that where he lives. Said hills have eyes, and it's like that in Mexico too. Never been to Mexico, but I can imagine Mexico being about the same way. So yeah. What part of Canada do you live in, Brett? Let's see here. All right. Michael, did you ever see anything in West Virginia?
No. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, other than watching a semi hit a sand trap, which was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, West Virginia is intense, and like, I mean, there's no civilization out there. I mean, there's this because it was like old rusty like pump stations and stuff, that you'd go to for gas stations and like just like run down like little mom and pop, what they would call grocery stores, were just like a little mom and pop shack with like stuff in it, and a lot of places did not accept credit cards or anything like that either. And if you're operating on a company credit card, it was not easy. And then I had Christy cracking up about Coyote Peterson.
Oh yeah, that's a good story.
Oh. I don't know the Coyote Peterson. The wild and not so wonderful.
You leave him alone, though. He's precious.
So let's see. In West Virginia alone, they have the Bigfoot, they have the Flatwoods Monster, Mothman. Yeah.
The Flatwoods Monster is the one I was trying to tell you about earlier, John.
Ah.
Okay.
Flatwoods Monster, yeah.
So Flatwoods, West Virginia, as the summer of 1952 began to wind down, according to History.com, 3 boys were reportedly playing outside when they noticed a red light streak across the sky landing in a nearby farm. The boys grabbed their mother and ran to the property to see what had landed. They were joined by other kids and a dog before they saw what a local newspaper described as a 10-foot Frankenstein-like monster. A 17-year-old National Guard member at the time who also witnessed the monster said he had a pair of bright eyes in a tree. Based on witness accounts, the Flatwoods monster was described as a 10-foot monster with a blood-red body and green seemingly glowing face. The sightings ignited a U.S. Air Force UFO inquiry. which was an integral part of Project Blue Book. Huh. Make sure you remain vigilant, as the Flatwoods monster could still be roaming among us. All right. Let's see. Going back a bit, someone mentioned West Virginia being like fantasy. If anyone here reads comics, you should check out Hillbilly by Eric Powell. It blends Southern folklore and fantasy in such an interesting way. Thank you, Cryptic Gizmo. And Brett is close to the Rocky Mountains. I bet the Rocky Mountains are treacherous. So, all right.
So when I was looking through, like, stuff to, topics and stuff to talk about, I came across this thing I'd never heard of called the Dover Demon. Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Okay, so
Yes.
Oh, you have, Christy?
Christy knows about all this stuff.
Well, I would assume so, because it seems to be they say that it's kind of connected to Mothman, but not in the sense that it's like a UFO, just because the sightings seem to happen around the same time. But the weird thing about it is there's only ever been 2 sightings, and it was 2 days apart. April 21st of 1977 and April 22nd of 1977. There haven't been any reports since, or at least none documented here. But it kind of looked like it describes it as having a large watermelon-shaped head, but a very thin neck, and it's like its head was almost the size of the rest of its body, because it had a very thin body and long arms and big hands, but it had like orange or green glowing eyes the shape of marbles, and it would like go switch between crawling on all fours and walking upright. But
I think I saw that on Discovery Channel, actually.
Right.
Maybe Animal Planet. No.
But the only eyewitnesses has been 3 17-year-old boys and then a 15-year-old boy. So, but it was like in the same town, and I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
The reason that it pulled me to it is because the Men in Black were popped up that supposedly showed up after the Mothman sightings and the Dover Demon sightings. They would go around and warn people to stop talking about extraterrestrials and supernatural things and like threatening them, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think I remember because a lot of people were wondering, because the description was very similar, like a gray, but it crawled on all fours as opposed to a gray.
Yeah, but it also says that it had like a rosy tan colored skin, almost like wet sandpaper, but because it didn't have gray skin.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure if you said this part, John. Did you talk about what the creature may have been?
I did not.
Okay, yeah, I'm reading right here that some suggested that the creature may have been a foal, newborn elk, or a moose calf.
Yeah.
But that's weird though, because on that though, I mean, it says here about like the tendrils and stuff, and like the long, spindly fingers and everything too. Looking at the picture though, I mean, it looks very alien. Or like gray. So, and the fact of like the Men in Black, which is like a whole other thing, about Men in Black actually showing up. I actually watched a documentary last year about the Men in Black, and it was actually pretty compelling. What the guy was saying, a lot of the stuff that he was saying was checking out. I gotta pull that stuff up. But Jamie, but yeah, no, but also that begs the question though, like, and I think Christy talked on like interdimensional creatures, and then like we talk about aliens too. I was actually listening to Mysterious Radio yesterday, and they were talking about like a lifetime abduction of Greys, and it was about this woman named Dolly Saffron, and she had been abducted starting at age 2, and and has continued to be abducted all the way up until like her 60s, which she's still currently alive. And she explains that all of these cryptids are not really cryptids, that they are a form of aliens, and that the reason why they all have humanoid features is just because that they're humanoid, but and that they truly mean you no harm. They're just here to observe, I guess, and then abduct you.
Right.
so
They don't want to hurt you, but they want to
that's
steal
common,
you.
though.
what'd you say?
That is a common thing.
Yeah,
that
it's
they
a
want
it's a
to be
it's a
observed.
common it's a common trait. So, but and I guess what she says is that aliens don't really want to experiment on you. They would rather they want to experiment on you, but they're doing it for your own good, in order to, I guess, get you to be elevated with yourself. And I guess she says that aliens are more of a spiritual. What she says are grays and everything. She says they're actually a very spiritual creature. And that they're so in tune with, like, I guess, things like soul energy that they communicate using telepathy and stuff. And I think that's where Bigfoot comes into that too. They talk about Bigfoot being able to teleport and disappear so fastly. It's because he's part of that. So,
So aliens are hippies.
yeah, so to speak. But I guess what she thinks is, is that she, they tell her that the Earth is actually going to is going to go through a cataclysm, and it's going to be this huge event, and so they're really trying to brace you for that, and so that way whenever they show up, and it's very like biblical, like it actually shows up. She says like it's going to show up like brimstone and fire, and these beings are going to come from the sky and take you back, but you have to be, I guess, in that elevated state in order to be able to pilot their ships and stuff. It's wild. But her name is Dorothy Safran. And her story is nuts. Chat says, have we ever heard of Tailipo? I don't think I've heard of Tailipo.
Yeah, I actually just looked. I just looked
okay.
at it
It's
a
like,
little bit while you were.
It's like nature documentaries not trying to get too involved in what they're filming. So, all right, well, John, what's Tailipo?
Okay, this is pretty cool. Tailipo is a creature of North American folklore, particularly in Appalachia. It's said to be about the size of a dog. It has yellow or red eyes, pointed ears, and a long tail, and maybe tufted ears like a bobcat. So, what happens is, a hermit. The story goes is that a hermit and his 3 hounds, is where the story begins. He's out at night looking for his meal for the night, and he manages to shoot a small hare, and he shares with his dogs. He's still hungry, and so he presses on, and they discover a bizarre shape with bright eyes and a long tail. The hermit quickly shoots at the creature, severing its tail. Screaming, the creature runs off into the darkness, and the man eats the tail, either raw or in a stew. And on the brink of sleep, a rustling and clawing wakes the man. Sitting up, the hermit is able to see the gleaming eyes of the Tailipo leering at him from the foot of his bed. In an otherworldly voice, the creature demands the return of its Tailipo. Terrified, he calls for his hounds, which immediately come to his aid, and they chase the beast off. With the creature chased back into the woods, 2 of the hermit's dogs return, but one's missing. He tries to go to sleep, but the Tailipo returns, beckoning even more forcefully for the return of its tail. Again, he sticks his hounds on the Tailipo, and again, one is missing upon return. So he can't sleep. He usually clutches his weapon, usually a gun of some kind, and waits for dawn, his one dog remaining nearby. And when it appears for the 3rd time, he again sends his hound to attack, but it never comes back. So now he's left with no protection, and he's cowering under his bed sheets, praying for dawn. But hours before daybreak, the man hears the sound, and it jumps on him, and is eye to eye to him, and it demands the return of its Tailipo. Often it's described as the man being flayed beyond recognition. In less explicit versions, all that remains of the cabin is the chimney. Either way, it's understood that the Tailipo has exacted revenge for the loss of its tail. During the darkest of nights, the creature can be heard whispering for its Tailipo, or claiming whispering that it has gotten its Tailipo back. Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
It is. It's described as revolving around common anxieties for rural families in Appalachia, such as the fear of isolation or famine, and it's also a cautionary tale teaching children not to abuse animals, which is a good.
That's a good lesson.
It's a pretty cool little picture.
We love animals here. Yeah. So
yeah.
Do not abuse. Don't abuse cryptids. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, quickly though, just make sure it's on my end. Can someone check the stream It's not pulling up on mine anymore. But I don't know what that'd be.
It's working, I think, from here.
Okay.
Yep. Looks like it's working.
Okay.
So.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Move your mouse, Doug.
Move my mouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's good.
All right, good.
I was just making sure it wasn't frozen.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of joking around about it in our last chat, but I guess the Tailypo kind of brings me to what I think Mikey dropped the name. One of you guys dropped the name. Was the Wampus Cat?
Yeah.
Wampus Cat.
Wampus Cat. So I think Mikey, was that you that dropped that name?
Yeah.
Why did you bring Wampus Cat up?
Well, only because I have a friend. His name's Jordan, and they live in Boones Creek, right? But they live pretty far into Boones Creek. Probably, I'd say, a good 5 miles away from the highway. So they're in it,
Mm-hmm.
And he does this every once in a while. He'll talk about the Wampus Cat or whatever and be like, well, if you're here when it happens, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I've never been there while this is happening. But he'll call and he'll be like, listen, and he'll just be holding his phone out the window. He lives in a tree house, okay? And he'll hold his phone out the window and you'll hear something that sounds...
Hold on, like a treehouse, like one of those rich people gets built, or like one when you're like 13.
It's somewhere between both of those. So
is it for someone who has too much money and not enough sense, or for a child?
Well, so their house is really interesting. I mean,
that's cool. That's cool.
That is awesome.
I think treehouse is really cool.
Well, it's his tree house, and he runs a wire to his parents' house. So,
well, of course it's his.
Yeah, it's his. But yeah, I mean, but the main house is interesting too, and they're interesting people. But yeah, he'll put his phone out the window and be like, and I'll ask him like, well, why don't you go outside and record? He's like, he's adamant. There's no way I'm leaving. I'm not opening the door. It scares him to death, but it's happened for so long that I guess he's used to it, and nothing's ever come of it. So, and he claims it's the Wampus Cat.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea.
Whereabouts does he live? Like just a general, like.
So, if you were, I'm trying to think of any landmarks. I mean,
I'm just saying, like state.
Oh no, here, Boones Creek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Boones Creek. Yeah.
I didn't know. You have friends all over.
Mm-hmm.
You know lots of people.
Yep.
Well, so what exactly is his fear of the Wampus Cat? Like, what makes him afraid of the Wampus Cat so much specifically?
Well, I don't know that he's scared of it, but okay. And
or just,
here's the thing.
I guess what makes him so superstitious about it?
Well, let me give you some background story. So his uncle, who now lives with them, this guy
in the treehouse.
No, he lives in the main house. But this guy,
sorry, I kicked me over it.
He legitimately did time 40 years in prison for murder. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But so this thing had been happening, whatever, and it wasn't until his uncle came back after 40. He never even knew who his uncle was, and I guess it happened, and he just was talking to his uncle. And was like, "Yeah, you heard the Wampus Cat yesterday," and Jordan's like, "Wampus Cat? What do you mean?" And that's how he learned of this. His uncle looked unsurprised by it, and the dogs, while this is happening, it's like a scream. It sounds very much like a human screaming, like a woman.
So kind of like a mountain lion.
Yeah, but I know what a mountain lion sounds like.
Yeah, but I mean, a mountain lion sounds like a straight up woman dying.
Yeah.
Or a bobcat.
Or a bobcat too. Yeah.
Yeah. This is different. It's not like, it doesn't sound distressed. I don't know how to describe it, and understand. I'm listening to it through the phone too.
Right, so he played it through the phone.
Well, he's holding his phone out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has dogs too, and these are big dogs. I mean, these are he has a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd. They live out. They live out, so they have animals. All the animals just dead silent while this is happening. Dogs don't bark. Cows don't do anything. Chickens are just. I guess the chickens are usually in the coop by then, but I mean, it's just dead silent while this is happening. The birds start chirping. All that. It seems like insects stop making noises.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been there while it's happening, but he believes it. His uncle, who came back 40 years after a murder, that's what he told him.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely think that there's some grounds to that. Hold on, I'm gonna play a mountain lion scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear?
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything.
Neither.
I've got the stream muted, so I can't. If it was on stream, I didn't hear
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. I didn't put it on. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it now.
All right. Yeah, it's up. Yeah, I'd run too.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
so go ahead.
It's definitely different. Whatever.
Yeah, Fox
You should do
Fox
that
is
as well.
sorry.
Should do a bobcat as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cryptic Gizmo says foxes make a similar scream and it's terrifying. Let's
Yeah,
see
they
here.
do.
Let's see here. Bobcat scream.
Does a fox say?
Somebody needs to probably go on mute. We're getting a lot of crackling and.
Resume Now is America's top resume
Bro,
builder.
Resume
And it's
Now.
free to start. Just click this video. Get your job 2 times
Give it
faster.
just a moment.
So yeah, I mean, like, otherwise, he's never seen this thing, never found any evidence of it, but he just heard
Just
something.
alarms. Yeah. I don't hear anything yet. It's gonna scare me. Yeah. So imagine being in the wood. I mean, I've heard this, and I'm Christy's heard it. But man, that shit sounds terrifying when you're in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So we get coyotes around the house, and that is a wild sound. Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually used to those because I grew up with those.
I don't like coyotes the way they sound, man. They sound unhinged. I don't like it. But so I got a quick story about the Wampus cat. So,
okay.
And we talk about Alabama, and I talk about my love for Alabama very often, about how much I just thoroughly enjoy Alabama.
Ugh.
And so I actually had a group of people in my car, and we were all driving to go to lunch. And this is probably near Fife, Alabama. And that's actually another thing I can talk about a little bit too in Fife, Alabama. But while we were driving, I had 3 people in the car with me, and this black cat walks across the street, and it stops right in front of the car. And I wish I had my camera working, but I don't think I could actually do the hex right. And I was actually trying to pull up what they did, because I came home. Well, and let me just say, I talk a lot, and nothing really phases me and stuns me. I was stunned, silent. I couldn't even, I was like, what the fuck did I just witness? So this black cat, walked to the middle of the street, and it sat down, right in front of our car, right in front of my car. And the guy I was riding with, he goes, just screams. He goes, Wampus cat, just Wampus cat. And they all at the same time did this weird hand gesture, and they just, it was like they raised their hand up, raised it down side to side, and then they slapped what was ever in front of them, and like the guy hit my dashboard, and the two people behind me actually smacked the back of my seats.
So they did like a Catholic crossing.
Well, I guess sort of like that, but it didn't really remind me. I guess in a way, I guess it could have been, but they just screamed "Wampus Cat," and they said, they said it's a wampus hex that they did on it to keep bad luck away. And yeah, and they just and to me, like, I was so stunned, and they were like, I can't stand black cats, like they're bad luck and this, and it was just so surreal to me, because you always hear that black cats bring bad luck. Don't let a black cat cross your path, and I had never seen anything like that, like in person, and it just flipped me out. Like, I came home that night, I was like, Christy, I saw the weirdest shit, and I told her about it, and Alabama's a different place, but before we move on from Wampus Cat, I'll describe Wampus Cat though. But a creature heard whining about camps at night, a spiritual green-eyed cat having occult powers, or an undefined imaginary animal. Folklorist Vance Randolph described the Wampus Cat as a kind of amphibious panther which leaps into water and swims like a colossal mink. Other commentators liken the Wampus Cat to a creature of Cherokee mythology. In Cherokee legends, the monster is the cat-like embodiment of a female onlooker cursed by tribal elders as punishment for hiding beneath the pelt of a wild cat to witness a sacred ceremony. The Wampus Cat is also used as a mascot for several educational institutions. And newspapers reported a Wampus Cat killing livestock in North Carolina all the way to Georgia, though possibly due to early intrusions of coyotes. The livestock deaths were attributed to the Wampus Cat. So, alrighty. So, well, Christy, before we move on from that, you actually mentioned that you had an experience with panthers.
I guess it could be called the Wampus Cat. My dad lived in the backwoods in Kingsport, Tennessee, and we had woods all over the place, all surrounding the house. And my dad, my stepmom, my brother, basically everybody but me saw these panthers just running in the woods. And he would always say that they were eating the fish out of his pond and all this, getting his ducks.
That it?
That's basically it, because I never got to see it myself.
All right. Well, that was an uneventful story. What? You never got to see the Panthers? Or the Wampus?
No, I never did.
Oh, man. You had the build up for me there for a second. So.
Well, you put me on the spot.
Sorry.
I'm nervous.
Sorry.
I wish I could have seen the Wampus Cat.
We got like two Wampus Cats here at my house. They're just two big fat black cats. So domesticated as hell. But let's see here. So I'd mentioned Fife, Alabama, FYFFE, and they have something called UFO Days in Fife, Alabama. Let's see here. And apparently Fife, Alabama is, we actually have a location out there, and it is a hotspot for UFO sightings. So Fife is located in DeKalb County in the northeast corner of the state. It is noted for alleged mass UFO sightings by many town residents in 1989. The event is now celebrated with an annual festival, and the town has been designated as the UFO capital of Alabama. So Fife is actually right on top of a mountain, too. So I don't know if that brings it closer to aliens or if that's just like, I don't know. But it's weird though, because like during a certain time of the year, you'll start to see like alien decorations and stuff like that too. And we actually put a display in one of our stores featuring aliens. It's and I thought that was so crazy. They said, whenever I got there, they said, "What do you mean you never heard about UFOs in Fife? They're happening here all the time." I was like, I've never heard of this. But let's see here. Trying to see if I can find any more about that.
What time of year does it happen?
You're talking about the UFO days?
Yeah.
Let's see. UFO days, Fife, Alabama. Now, I will say, being out there, I've actually gone into a little bit of the woods and stuff and gone to some abandoned buildings around that area to take some pictures and stuff and get some photography. It's really a beautiful area, and with a lot of, like, abandoned, dilapidated, buildings. And it's... And I've actually heard, like, screeching and stuff out in the woods, but I would probably attribute that to be like bobcats and wampus cats. So, annual Fife UFO Day is on August 26, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. A hot air balloon ride showcases unique family outing, arts and crafts, children's games, food vendors, antique tractors, live entertainment, dancing, and much more make this event fun for the whole family. The festival is held annually on the last Saturday of August. So, Christy, we'll have to go there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And Fife is such a podunk town. This is so cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's literally nothing out there. Like, I mean, it's like the entire town is just a few buildings, and in a very small grocery store. That's Fife, Alabama. Let's see here if I can actually pull that up again, though. So the story of Fife, Alabama begins on February 11th and 12th in 1989. On those two nights, more than 50 people in a town of just under 2,000 see a UFO, according to the landmarks of DeKalb County. Those who spotted it described it as hovering at an angle with bright lights on the top, bottom, and center, and its curvature outlined in green. I guess right here is actually the picture that they took in Fife, Alabama in 1989, which is, actually a pretty decent picture, all things considered for that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, I bet that frisbee hurt when it hit him in the head.
Could you imagine? No, it's funny.
No, it looks cool. It looks legit,
does,
though.
yeah.
I mean, it really does.
At the time of the sightings, Junior Garmany. Sorry.
You can't make this shit up, can you?
No. Junior Garmany was the town's chief of police, and Fred Works, his assistant chief. The dispatcher who took that initial call for the identified object. When Junior... Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. When Junior and them went out and looked at it, they said it looked like a big banana. So they weren't lying. Smith explained it.
I love how two guys went out there and said, "That's a big banana."
Oh my god!
That looks like a... No, don't say it. Don't say that, Junior. Smith explained it didn't have any sound, and they kind of chased it around.
Oh my god!
You got the sheriff and his deputy running around trying to chase a giant banana in the sky. I did not know any of this, so that's pretty damn good. Let's see here. Garmany stated in a report that he and Works tried to chase the object on County Road 43. Works said the object appeared to be a wide triangle that produced no sound whatsoever. Oh, here's the picture of the banana. So...
I bet that really gripes them.
That really gripes me. It says, "Oh heck,
Ain't no banana flying in my airspace."
The comic says, "Oh heck, you bunch of idiots! That is a banana."
Is that why? Isn't there a Fife brand of bananas?
Yeah, there is Fife banana.
Okay.
Oh my God! It's been confirmed. UFOs are bananas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I never really, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, there are Fife bananas.
That's crazy. Well, I guess they got popular about it.
I guess so.
Now, that one that last picture that you showed that I joked about the frisbee. You know what it looked like?
Hmm.
You remember the
Well,
You
it don't look
remember
like a damn banana.
Remember Flotsam and Jetsam from Batteries Not Included?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. I think it's cool. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it does look really cool. But I mean, it was 50 sightings in the course of 2 days. Calling into the police station.
Crazy.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Let's see. What I saw the first time was nothing like I ever saw before. Garmity stated after the sighting, it was not a helicopter, it was not a plane, not a sound. Smith, who spent 14 years as a dispatcher with Fife Police, said the object caused an uproar in the town, with news cameras and salesmen making banana-shaped earrings descending on Fife. Today, more than 30 years later, one might think the UFO sightings are a distant memory to the people of Fife, though the town's annual UFO Day celebration says otherwise. I mean, honestly, this is what put them on the map. And I have to take a picture and send it to you guys. But Fife, really, there ain't nothing out there. I mean, there's nothing really there. So,
Right.
yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna buy a banana and take a picture of a banana in Fife.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy a Fife banana. So. Oh, they have a UFO campsite there too at that time. So, all right. Going through my checklist.
I sent a cool picture in the text chat.
Was it Bigfoot with his dick out, or?
No. It actually he actually has it tucked, kind of like Buffalo Bill. No, it's a
Buffalo Bigfoot.
No, that something on the Wampus cat I was looking at. It was talking about where the sightings like mostly are, and so I like pulled up maps and I made like a triangulation of it, and it's pretty cool. Johnson City is like actually right inside of it. It's actually like goes right along the line between Kingsport and Johnson City. It's pretty crazy.
Where did you send this to?
The town gossip on the Discord.
Oh, okay. So that's the Bigfoot sightings, or?
No, that's Wampus cat.
Wampus cat sightings.
Yeah. It says that most of them seem to fall between Knoxville, Roanoke, Virginia, and Greensboro. So obviously, I triangulated it, and then I included it to include all of the city that it said, not just the center. I thought it looked pretty cool.
Does look pretty cool. I'm trying to figure out a way I can pull it up on here. Open link. Is it coming up?
I don't see it yet.
Okay, hold on. Alrighty. One moment. I will pull up John's conspiracy map. How about now?
Yep.
All right. So,
Yep.
yeah. So if you look right here in the center, 221, that's where Wampus Cat's going to be at. Is that the...
We need to find it.
We got to find it. Or maybe Blowing Rock. That sounds like somewhere Wampus Cat would be.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's just based on, a website. Who knows if it's right or not, but it's
Right.
pretty cool.
Alrighty, so does anybody else have any more cryptid stuff? Cryptid info? Cryptid stuff?
Let's see.
Michael, Christy, you've all been very quiet.
We're not calling
Wait.
anybody out.
Okay.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Oh, okay. Anything?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. All right.
So, all right. Well, I've got one more that I've found that's pretty cool. I just want to know what anybody thinks about it, if anybody knows about it. Because I had brought up the Men in Black, and kind of based on UFO activity and the Mothman and all that. But have any of y'all heard of Indrid Cold? Commonly known as the Smiling Man.
What? How do you
Yes.
how do you spell his name?
Indrid, Indrid.
Indrid.
Yep, Cold.
Cold. Okay.
Yep. He's commonly known as the Smiling Man.
The Green Man. Oh, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Creepy as shit.
Yep. Let's see here. Find a picture of old Indrid Cole. Yeah. So what about Indrid Cold?
I just thought it was really great. It's something. It's one of the first things I pulled up and looked at, and I just got chills just from looking at it and reading it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was in Point Pleasant. This family was reporting poltergeist activity in their home, like diamond-shaped lights, and their daughter Linda was sleeping one night, and she awoke to see a man standing over her.
Mm-hmm.
He was very big, broad. Couldn't see his face very well, but that she could see that he was grinning. So I don't know.
So
that kind of thought to me.
If you remembered,
creepy.
If you remember, John, in that movie we watched, the Mothman Prophecy, that was the name given by one of the characters.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, it actually says right here. It is said that he still visits West Virginia to this day. And that he is actually that they believe that he may be an alien.
Mm-hmm.
First sighting 1966, last sighting unknown. Sighted in the USA, though probably does not live there. If it is an alien, possibly planet Lanulos, Ganymedes galaxy, singular. Though Ingrid Cold species population would likely be very high. That's so weird.
Yeah, I know, right? It's exactly the site that I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Grinning Man is reported to be a human-like in appearance, though he is commonly associated with UFO activity and is sometimes believed to be an alien. Neato.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
So, first sighting, Ingrid Cole was first seen on October 16th, 1966, when two boys, Martin Mouse Munov and James Jimmy Youngkitis, I'm sure I'm pronouncing those names wrong, in New Jersey were walking on 4th Street when they saw a surreal figure standing near a fence. As they walked closer, the figure was a tall, bald man wearing a metal green suit who was staring right at them with a huge grin. So... the idiosyncratic man chased them until they got away. Until they got away from him, UFO sightings were also reported in the area. Jimmy nudged me and said, "Who's that guy standing behind you?" I looked around, and there he was behind that fence, just standing there. He pivoted around and looked right at us. Then he grinned a big old grin. So can you imagine being an alien? And you're like, okay, be human, and like you look at these two kids and you just smile. And you just
Mark Zuckerberg,
and you just scare the fuck out of him. You're like, and he's like, no, wait, look at me, I'm smiling, and he's just chasing him, and he's really just trying to, let him know that he comes in peace. But yeah, I think anybody'd be that way. They'd just be scared shitless. So,
am I the only one that forgot the killer clown epidemic that happened a few years ago?
That was it was like some weird macabre trend, but yeah, that was so weird. And I just wonder, what really brought that on. What I thought was the funniest part about it were the clowns protesting the bad clown, like the good clowns that were in an honest business were protesting the bad clown.
Yeah, I remember that.
I actually have a story about that.
What's interesting is it came suddenly and ended suddenly. Just like that,
What's your story, Christy?
So whenever all that was happening, I was actually training, and I had to drive to Big Stone Gap, Virginia. And right before you get into Big Stone Gap, you're up really high in the mountains, and there's basically a cliff, which is the top of the mountain, and you go around this huge curve, and on your left side is the rest of the mountain, and on the right side is just a huge drop-off. And so I'm driving, it's probably 5:30 in the morning, so it's dark outside. I'm driving, and then all of a sudden, this clown drops off the left side of the mountain right into the road, and he stands up, looks at me, and then just jumps off to the other side.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's creepy as shit.
Are we sure that extra dimensional beings just don't know how to introduce themselves?
Dude, I guarantee it. I
They don't
guarantee
know how
it.
to.
That's
They
what
don't know how to land. They haven't stuck the landing yet.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
He didn't even wave,
go ahead.
said he didn't even wave at me. He just looked at me and then jumped off the mountain.
But like, imagine like they're watching something on TV and like their TV is like completely different. And they're like, oh, well, they like clowns. Like, it's funny, right? You know, they go down to earth dressed as clowns, and they just keep scaring them. They're like, why aren't they laughing? You know.
This didn't work as well as the man that was smiling at kids. What in the world's happening?
Who forgot the balloons this time?
Let's chase them.
Did you?
We're going back to big hairy guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Christy, were you driving or were you like stopped?
I was driving, but it's 25 miles an hour, so I had plenty of time to stop.
Well, I probably would have jumped anyway. You never know.
I was
Crazy.
prepared to keep driving.
Do you think that aliens like won't land and they just come down to observe us and they're just like, okay, this time, guys, we really got to plan this out. Like, let's see what they like, you know? And they're like, don't make it awkward. And they're like, oh shit, he just saw me. Like, that would be the funniest shit if aliens were just very socially awkward and they just keep fucking it up.
They probably are. You got that one named Granky, and they try to leave him, but he always shows up right before they come down. He's like, damn it, now we have to bring him along. He just ruins it every time. Granky!
I wouldn't blame him. You know, here you are playing with D&D characters. You're loving them. They're observing you. I'm like, well, okay, he likes that one. I'm going to turn into that and try to say hi.
Like, you just turn into like I don't know, like a giant ogre or something like that. It goes like, oh, why is he screaming? That was his character.
I mean, it's sensible.
I could believe that. You know, like, imagine, like, you know, you're in Fife, Alabama, and you say, this fucking banana came out of the sky. And the aliens are like, well, we see them eating bananas all the time.
Well, they don't want to look like humans because humans hate each other. They're like, oh no, you know, what do they like?
That should be a movie. That should be a bunch of socially awkward aliens trying to make contact with humans, and instead of actually just going down and saying, "Hey, what's up?" like, you know, they just keep fucking it up every time.
Okay, I'm trademarking failed contact. That's my movie.
Failed contact.
Failed
Okay.
contact. That's pretty good.
All right. So just let it be known. Aliens.
Extra dimensional beings.
Extra. Well, you know, I heard that it's insensitive to call them aliens now. Like, what is it extraterrestrial beings? Is that what it is now? Is that what we're supposed to call them?
Well, they're definitely extraterrestrial if we're talking about grays, you know. Cause
Yeah.
I
didn't think you were going to take that seriously, but yeah, no, okay, no.
I thought it was unidentified aerial people or something like that.
ETBs.
ETBs, yeah.
ETBs.
Man, E.T. That movie scared me when I was a kid. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the whole government thing was weird. No, it freaked me out.
I'm talking about when you meet E.T. That was scary.
I know.
When the kid finds him, that was scary.
Like, imagine that, like, you're just like this weird wrinkly scrotum looking like E.T. coming from space, and you're dressed in drag, and you meet Drew Barrymore, and you're like, okay.
This is cool.
I mean, yeah.
And he's Elliot. Ouch. Ouch. Sorry.
Gosh.
I got tickled. So
That's funny.
all right.
So how many of these cryptids are really dangerous? I think Mothman's basically a peeping Tom, you know.
Well, Mothman isn't necessarily dangerous, more that he is a premonition of things to come.
Yeah, he's just looking in your window, peeping at you.
Yeah, and he's just like, you're going to fall down. And then you have Bigfoot, I think really wouldn't do anything unless you were to somehow attack him. Now, I want to talk to you all about well, I guess he's not a cryptid anymore, but he was a confirmed real cryptid in Georgia right by our home, over in the Blue Ridge Mountains. And that is, don't laugh, Hogzilla.
Yeah, Hogzilla, I've heard about
that. I know Hogzilla.
Yeah, he is very real. And did you know that there was a son of Hogzilla? I'm serious.
No.
Yeah.
Well, of
so not only did Hogzilla really exist, but Hogzilla, I don't want to get any like sensitive pictures, so I won't show it. But Hogzilla actually was a real hog, and
they killed him, right?
Yeah, they killed him. In fact, let me scroll past that real quick. I don't want to upset anybody. But yeah, he
I'm wondering how he made it, because he was humongous.
So I guess the theory was that he was a domesticated pig that got loose and then got wild. And that he actually did breed with a local pig, and then he actually inadvertently created his sequel movie called Son of Hogzilla. And that was also, I think that hog was as big, if not bigger, than Hogzilla. But a team of National Geographic experts have confirmed South Georgia's monster hog, known to locals as Hogzilla, was indeed real and really, really big. They also noticed that the super swine didn't quite live up to the 1,000-pound, 12-foot hype generated when Hogzilla was caught on a farm last summer and photographed hanging from a backhoe. Donning biohazard suits to exhume the behemoth's smelly remains, the experts estimated that Hogzilla was actually 7.5 to 8 feet long. I like how they put only, but that's pretty fucking big.
Dude, that's humongous.
They put only 7.5 to 8 feet long. Like imagine that you're Hogzilla.
I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
But imagine like Hogzilla is out there 8 feet long and he weighs 800 pounds. That would scare the shit out of me more than any. Like if Bigfoot came out, I'd be like, "Fuck, save me, Bigfoot." You know. But the confirmation came in a documentary aired Sunday night on the National Geographic Channel. He was an impressive beast. He was definitely a freak of nature. Said that Hogzilla's tusk, one measuring nearly 18 inches and the other measuring almost 16.
Jeez.
Yeah. Let's see here.
There had to have been something different because, I mean, he had too much boar features. I remember the picture.
Yeah. He was completely like a wild boar. So let's see here.
What if it was just a natural mutation?
Well, and that's what they're saying though. I mean, I think that he was a domesticated hog that got loose, and then I think just the elements of it. And I don't know, but let's see. I need to stress they did not have much to work with, seeing as how the poor beast had been underground for nearly 6 months. Let's see here. But here's the thing though. Like they're saying that the hog was 8 feet long in death, 6 months, and they're calling bullshit on the 12-foot, on like the 12 feet. I don't know. I mean, like if you take like mass breaking down after 6 months, I mean, he may have been close to like 10 feet.
I wouldn't think. I wouldn't think it's unreasonable that while he's hanging from the backhoe, that he's
full 12 feet. Yeah.
I mean, from what I remember, the thing looked like it weighed 1,000 pounds.
It was monstrous. I mean, he like all three of us could have easily like fit inside of him. That's how wide he was. As with any organic being, tissues will decompose and the body will atrophy, making actual measurements change over time. Well, at least I said that. let's see here. This town, 180 miles south of Atlanta, has already adopted Hogzilla as its own. And let's see here. So let me see if son of Hogzilla. But yeah, he actually had offspring. Yeah. Yeah. First thing pops up, son of Hogzilla. Yeah. Let's see.
I mean, there are two animals that have chased me, and they both scare me. I mean, it's a pig, boar, and a bull. So I mean, they're intense, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so son of Hogzilla appears to have been smaller. And he was actually in North Carolina, so 500 pounds. So
Yeah, he's big.
big boy.
I've seen a domestic pig that's 500 pounds too.
Yeah, yeah.
Big old
But
roly-poly Frank.
But Hogzilla was actually confirmed and real, and I thought that was just crazy to me. It's like, man, I'm telling you, like, I don't even think I would probably cease if I saw a giant-ass wild hog, 12 feet long, charge it. I mean, you'd be dead. You'd be dead. So, yeah, I mean,
you would be dead.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. Dude, I mean, I've had maybe it was 60. I mean, this thing was ferocious.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I don't know that it's any more dangerous than this bull that chased me. I mean, if it was Hogzilla, shoot.
I think I would take a bull over Hogzilla, because that thing would gore you and tear at you, and
yeah, that's
well, I'll tell you, I absolutely would, because the bull that chased me only didn't like me being in his area.
yeah.
Hogzilla, you know, I mean, I guess he just wants to kill me.
Hogzilla's going to straight up murder you. So, I mean, you know, and I'm not like, you know, when it comes to like, you know, hunting animals and like, you know, and all that stuff, you know, I'm not a big fan of it, but something like Hogzilla would probably need to be put down, you know, brought down, you know, because that is,
absolutely.
Because I think that's I think that's what caused it, because he was actually killing the livestock out there. So, I mean, that tells you right there.
They are unbelievably destructive animals. Yes.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
So, rest in peace, Hogzilla. But I'm glad that I'm not going to catch you in the mountains in Georgia anymore. So.
Hey, he's a cool story. He made the history books.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's something. I mean, I think that's kind of like a legendary creature being real.
Yeah.
Well, think about. I mean, he lived his life, siring children, eating all he wanted, and scaring people. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's pretty badass. Hogzilla didn't fuck around. He lived life.
That's a G if I've ever heard one.
He got out in the wild and just said, you know what? I'm going to be the biggest of them all. So, let's see. I'm trying to think. So, in Georgia, too, we also have the giant river snake. And I don't have any pictures of this, but if you go a little bit further south in Georgia, probably past like middle Georgia, you'll start to see like statues and stuff like in like river towns and everything. And it's usually giant snake statues.
Yeah.
And that is actually because of a supposed cryptid in Georgia. I think I lost my map. Cryptid map. Let's see here. Huh. Well, that's weird. I just clicked up the Bureau of Land Management. It's actually a government website, and it says cryptids in North America.
Oh, that's cool.
That is pretty cool. Interactive cryptid map. The sewer monster. Let's see here.
I think I gave birth to one of those once.
Well, this isn't a very interactive map at all.
They've only got like 3.
They did.
I think there's something.
Yeah.
Another giant beast. I think is cool. Why you find this?
Well, I did find it, but it's. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were looking at pictures.
Yeah, I did find it, but it's Altamaha is what it's. Altamaha. Yeah, it is actually. But the thing is though, there's different speculations of it. So like they call it a river monster, and some people liken it to like Nessie, while many people say it's a giant river snake.
Right.
And I could probably believe something like that, like a giant river snake.
Oh yeah.
But that would be one that I guess I say that it's that it could potentially be dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Let's see
I'm
here.
sure.
Legendary creature alleged to inhabit the myriad small streams and abandoned rice fields near the mouth of the Altamaha River. In southeastern Georgia, sightings are particularly reported around Darien and McIntosh County. Yeah, so I think that's all I have for Georgia for the most part. But yeah, that was the big things. Hogzilla, and then there's also the Bigfoot Museum, which Christy and I went to also, and that's actually well worth it to go look at least one time. But we went there, and Christy actually bought nothing but Mothman memorabilia and not Bigfoot stuff.
That's funny that they have that there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Oh.
We did get a Bigfoot car magnet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we did. Let's see here. All right, John, what were you talking about?
So staying with this idea of these water monsters, if you go north to Indiana, there's this really crazy cool thing, the Beast of Busco. Do you know about this?
I do not.
Look this up. It is a giant alligator snapping turtle. 500 pounds, they say. The Beast of Busco. Busco. It totally. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Hey, look, it's Morla from Neverending Story." Like
the Beast of Busco.
The Beast, Beast of Busco. It says it's a subject of a legend in Churubusco, Indiana, about an enormous snapping turtle which citizens claim to have seen in 1949. Despite a month-long hunt that briefly gained national attention, the beast was never found. But I thought it was just pretty cool. They actually have a Turtle Days festival in June. It includes a parade, carnival, and turtle races. But along that same line, the some of these animals. I mean, turtles live a really long time. Naturally, they live a long time. So, given if they had an exceptionally good diet and they were left unchecked in their environment, I mean, who's to say that they can't just grow large? I know that at some point their body mass would work against them, but I don't know. Just looking at images of Beast of Busco on Google is crazy cool.
Yeah, something like that, like a giant turtle, I could definitely see that happening. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm trying to see if I can pull up a picture of Christy and I at the Bigfoot Museum.
Well, while you do that, I found a really cool website that has the a state by state breakdown of what each state, what their favorite monster is. So we can either do some random letters from people, or if anybody wants to just throw out a random state, I think it's kind of cool to look at these because they're all different. I don't see Wyoming, the jackalope. Christy.
I have a jackalope story that's not going to be very eventful.
Oh man.
That's all right.
So my dad, he used to raise rabbits, and he had me convinced at a very young age that they were jackalopes. They just didn't grow their horns yet, or antlers. And I believed that all the way up until I was about 12 or 13. And so now I know that they don't exist, but I kind of think they do because it's just kind of ingrained into my brain.
Right.
What is a jackalope?
It's a bunny with horns.
Antlers.
Antlers, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Mikey, Mikey? So you said Wyoming. Christy, what do you say? Random state.
Um,
Some of these I've never heard before.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Let's see.
Jersey
Vampire
Devil.
Mercy Brown. Now that would be New Jersey, Mikey. Come on.
Leave all over.
Vampire Mercy Brown. I've never heard of this. Let's see what's
I haven't either.
Vampire Mercy Brown.
Women's Football World Cup. Hold on.
Oh, goodness gracious. What have I found?
Vampire Mercy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown Mercy Brown. All right.
The Mercy Brown Vampires. Ooh. Tell us about it.
Occurred in Rhode Island, U.S., 1892. It was one of the best documented cases of an exhumation of a corpse in order to perform rituals to banish an undead manifestation. The incident was part of the wider New England vampire panic. Several cases of consumption, tuberculosis occurred in the family of George and Mary Brown in Exeter, Rhode Island. Friends and neighbors believed that it was due to the influence of the undead. An attempt was made to remediate. Mercy Brown died January 1892, age 19. Well, that was a sad. Let's see here. Vampire incident. I'm trying to see where... The mother, Mary Eliza, was the first to die of disease, followed in 1884 by their eldest daughter, Mary Olive. According to her gravestone, in 1891, daughter Mercy and son Edwin also contracted the disease. Friends and neighbors of the family believe that one of the dead family members was a vampire, although they did not use that name and had caused Edwin's illness. This was in accordance with threads of contemporary folklore, which linked multiple deaths in one family to undead activity. Consumption was a poorly understood condition at the time and the subject of much superstition. George Brown was persuaded to give permission to exhume several bodies of the family members. Villagers, a local doctor, and the newspaper reporter exhumed the bodies on March 17, 1892. The bodies of both Mary and Mary Olive exhibited the expected level of decomposition, so they were thought not to be the cause. However, the corpse of a daughter, Mercy, exhibited almost no decomposition and still had blood in the heart. This was taken as a sign that the young woman was undead and the agent of young Edwin's condition. Her lack of decomposition was more likely due to her body being stored in freezer-like conditions in an above-ground crypt during the 2 months following her death. As superstition dictated, Mercy's heart and liver were burned, and the ashes were mixed with water to create a tonic, and was given to sick Edwin to drink as an effort to resolve his illness and stop the influence of the undead. The young man died 2 months later. Go figure. What remained of Mercy's body was buried in the cemetery of the Baptist Church in Exeter after being desecrated. In the end, the father, George Brown, was one of the very few never to contract tuberculosis, living until 1922, just long enough to see bacteriologist Albert Calmette and Camille Guerin discovered the BCG vaccine, which was widely used to treat and cure tuberculosis. So imagine that, man. That's tragic.
Crazy.
Man. John, Hawaii.
Hawaii. Well, hold on. Doug hasn't given one yet.
Well, I'll just do Maryland, my home state.
Okay. Let's see. Maryland. Chessie. It's like Nessie, but it's Chessie. CHESSIE. ESSIE.
ESIE. Chessie. Maryland. sea monster. Of course, it'd be a sea monster.
Mm.
In American folklore, Chessie is a sea monster said to live in the midst of the Chesapeake Bay. It's good crabbing out there. Claims of sightings appear in local media and regionally themed books from 1936 onward. Over time, the figure developed into an environmental icon associated with ecological health of the Chesapeake Bay and continues to play a role in modern popular culture. The earliest purported sighting of a Chessie-like creature, I get what they're doing, like Nessie with Chesapeake Bay, Chessie. Okay. Creature may have been from a military helicopter flying over Bush River in 1936. Something reptilian and unknown in the water was observed by the helicopter's crew. However, a Chessie sighting from a helicopter in 1936 seems unlikely, as the earliest helicopter flight was near Stratford, Connecticut in 1939. According to Matt Lake in Weird, Maryland, two perch fishermen, Francis Klarman and Edward J. Ward, spotted something in the water near Baltimore in 1943. This thing was about 75 yards away at right angles from our boat. At first, it looked like something floating on the water. It was black, and the part of it was out of the water, seemed about 12 feet. It has a head. It has a head about as big as a football and shaped somewhat like a horse's head. It turned its head around several times, almost all the way around. So it's like a literal seahorse. Chessie's awfully cute.
Yeah.
Pretty likes Old Bay.
He's smiling.
I bet he does like Old Bay. I fucking love Old Bay.
I don't. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
agree.
Well, you know why? Because he ain't from Maryland.
Well.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, because she ain't from Maryland.
I like it. It's fine. It just doesn't agree with me.
Well, I don't agree with you.
My body don't like it.
I tell my body that you do like Old Bay.
All right, Mikey, your Hawaii, real quick, is the Menehune. It's a mythological race of dwarf people in Hawaiian tradition who are said to live in the deep forests and hidden valleys of the Hawaiian Islands, hidden and far away from human settlements.
How do you spell Menehune?
Menehune, M-E-N-E-H-U-N.
Hold on, slow down. What was that?
M-E-N-E-H-U-N-E. Menehune.
Awesome.
That are described as superb craftspeople. They built temples, fish ponds, roads, canoes, and houses.
Look at that happy little guy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know. Hopefully that's a red loincloth and not...
Look at him. He's just look at him. He has a block of cheese on his head, and he's like, hang 10, y'all.
Yeah, you want to watch me build this hut? Gonna be real cool.
I would say that's probably like an indigenous... Can you say pygmy? Is pygmy an offensive thing to say?
I don't know. I thought it was actually a race of people.
Yeah, that's a race.
I thought it was actually a race of people.
But I thought pygmy was kind of, well, I mean, I guess, yeah. An indigenous little people tribe.
Lord.
I feel like that's okay.
I mean, as long as you're not using it in a slang term.
I'm not using it as a slang term. I mean, I would assume that it would probably be something like that, though.
Apparently, a pygmy is also a race of dwarfs described by ancient Greek authors as well.
Oh.
So maybe it was, they just kind of appropriated it to people of short stature in Africa and Southeast Asia.
I like it because in here it says there's actually other races too who are large-sized hunters descended from the Luanuu, the Mu people, and the Wa people. So you had the Menehune and the Aline I don't know. Arenes.
The Menehune play a key role in the Rocket Power TV movie Island of the Menehune.
So that has to be pretty accurate.
It's a little 90s kid fun fact.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
All right. right.
Well, I thought that was pretty fun. There's
Yeah.
plenty more. There's plenty more. I will bookmark it, and we can do more at some other time, or we
Yeah.
can do more now. It's whatever you all feel like.
Well,
doing.
I think the last thing I have for my end of the night is that I recently went to Kentucky for a convention, and I was trying to get to it. I saw it, but there was actually tons of warning signs, and actually you were highly advised not to go there because people typically die in this area, and that's
My God.
yeah, that's actually the truth of it.
Don't go, they die.
I mean, that's it. Like, so it's actually the Goat Man.
The Goat Man.
Yeah, the Goat Man, the Pope Lick Monster.
Pope Lick Monster. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
I know it by that name.
So the Pope
It's on
Lick
my
Monster.
map.
So I got to actually see the bridge, and I didn't really get too close to it. I didn't really have a lot of time. So while I was there, though, I made an effort to go see Waverly Hills Sanatorium, but I didn't take the tour. In fact, I almost got the cops called on me whenever I went there. And then I actually went to the Witch's Tree, which was a very interesting story, which I think we should probably save for another stream. But it's so the Goat Man though was he's probably the most popular thing about Louisville as far as like cryptids and spooky stuff go, other than Waverly Hills.
Right.
And there's all kinds of signs there because the reason why you can't get on the railroad bridge is because like the boards are so far apart that you cannot possibly outrun a train on there. So if the train's coming across, like, and you're that high up, you have two options. That's dive off the bridge to probably severe injuries or death, or get run over by the train because your legs aren't wide enough to run full sprint away from the train. Like you would have to actually hop between each one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I know that BuzzFeed had a BuzzFeed Unsolved, and it had Shane and Christy. You made Shane and who?
Ryan.
Shane and Ryan.
Yeah, they're no longer BuzzFeed.
Yeah, I know. It's they're on Watcher now, but on BuzzFeed they had them going to find Goat Man, and I think like the thing that Ryan said was "suck my dick, Goat Man." So, but and so it's actually a really funny show to watch if you do get time to watch that. But it's actually a skeptical guy who believes in nothing with a guy who believes in everything. And it's actually hilarious, and like their show's awesome.
It's like the Odd Couple.
Yeah, sort of like that. But now they're on Watcher, and they're pretty huge. But but that's wherever I first heard about like the Pope Lick Monster or Goat Man. So, but I'm trying to see here. Origins, methods, and plays. I'm trying to keep it brief. Okay. So, urban legends exist about the creature's origins and methods and employs to claim its victims. According to some accounts, the creature uses either hypnosis or voice mimicry to lure trespassers onto the trestle to meet their death before an oncoming train. Other stories claim that the monster jumps down from the trestle onto the roofs of cars passing beneath it. Yet other legends tell that it attacks its victims with a blood-stained axe, and that the very sight of the creature is so unsettling that those who see it while walking across the high trestle are driven to leap off, which I could see that probably being a pretty probable reaction. Other legends hold that the monster... Yeah. Other legends hold that the monster is a human-goat hybrid and that it was a circus freak who vowed revenge after being mistreated. And one version is said that the monster escaped after a train derailed on the trestle. Another version, commonly told by locals of the area, claimed that the monster is really the twisted reincarnation form of a farmer who sacrificed goats in exchange for satanic powers. So, and I think as of recently, there was actually, whenever I was there, I think just months before, a teenage girl had actually died right there. And so there's all kinds of signs saying, like, don't go up there, it's dangerous, and if the cops see you, they will arrest you. Like, you have to have permission to actually go up there.
Scroll down to media, the next to the last sentence.
Let's see here. Yeah, on May 26, 2019, Savannah Bright. Oh, yeah, 15 was pronounced. So I guess it wasn't a few months. It was a couple of years. Was pronounced dead at the scene after she and another teenager girl were on the train tracks near the Pope Trestle. Bright's unidentified companion was taken to University of Louisville Hospital. The story of the monster was featured, yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean...
So one girl lived and another girl died.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that's an incident of a cryptid being dangerous. If you're going out there to find a goat man, don't do it unless you have the right pull to do so, and safety precautions. So I did not go up there. I wanted to really bad, but I thought better against it. So
yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody have anything? That's the last thing I have for the night. Michael, Christy?
No. I'm tapped out.
Tapped out. He's tapping out. Well, I think...
I'd say about the other thing would be going back to Bigfoot. If we really did discover Bigfoot, I don't really think too many people would be too crazy about it, just because, the government basically confirmed aliens and really nobody gives a shit.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, I think there's definitely a desensitization, which could I think aliens is actually part of our topics coming up, but it's, yeah, I don't know,
I bet you within 1 month of Bigfoot, walking about and everything, people would just be, oh, that's just Bigfoot.
That's just Bigfoot,
I told you, I know, Jimmy. You told me.
Someone should tell him that it's okay to come out.
Yeah. I've got a cool thing that I think will eventually tie into one of our next topics. It's called legend tripping. Okay, no drugs involved. No drugs. Legend tripping is a name bestowed by folklorists and anthropologists on an adolescent practice or a rite of passage in which usually a furtive nocturnal pilgrimage is made to a site which is alleged to have been the scene of some tragic, horrific, and possibly supernatural event or haunting. The practice mostly involves the visiting of sites endemic to locations identified in local urban legends. We used to do this all the time.
What?
Legend tripping. We used to go check out creepy stuff at night.
Oh, yeah. I still do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. This is what it's called. It's called
okay. Legend tripping.
Legend tripping.
There's a name.
You're going on a trip to see a legend.
Huh. Yeah.
So, I just wanted to throw that out there. It was something that actually popped up with the Poplick monster.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the train trestle is a site of multiple legend trippings.
I've always
people go there.
I always call it dark tourism.
Yeah, that's a lot cooler. Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here. For some reason, on my PC, everything's deleted. So, all right. Let's see. We have Monsters of the South.
I had to bring it up and it deleted it. Sorry.
Angels and Demons. Okay. True Stories or Aliens? True Stories, Lies, and Aliens. Or Aliens. We have the concept of souls, which we already covered. Mental health, references of futuristic technology. Future technology in the past. In the past. Cults in the modern age. Actually, I'm just going to put cults. And we got one in Chattanooga. Cursed and haunted objects. Folklore of the South. feel like I'm playing Jeopardy. Or Wheel of Fortune. I guess more like I don't know.
Wheel of Party.
Wheel of Party. Small town legends. And urban legends. Actually, let's just put urban legends. Alright. UFOs and aliens. End times across all religious texts.
Do you have to do that each time?
No, it usually is saved.
I think this is only the first or second time he's had to retype it.
Yeah. The Apocrypha. Lilith. A hero or devil. All right. Anything we want to add to the wheel? I think, what did you say, John? What was that one?
Oh, I intended legends tripping to be kind of parts of maybe folklore
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
I just really wanted to bring it up because I thought it was cool because it specifically describes something that we used to do and still do. But because actually it's funny, at the very bottom of the page it lists associated places in the U.S. and Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky is the very last one.
Yeah, and out here in Chattanooga, we got so much stuff I would love to go to. Like we have a Hales Bar Dam that I'd like to spend the night at, and Ringgold has a lot, which I'm planning on filming some stuff there. Chattanooga has a lot of downtown haunted areas.
Oh yeah, that thing we went on
was awesome.
When we visited last was really, really awesome. So good.
I'm gonna add yokai to the mix. And Christy, since you're our guest and you had cryptids in there or on there, is there anything that you'd like to see us cover in the future?
I'm just excited for the urban legends one.
Okay, alrighty. Mikey, do you have anything to add to the list?
No.
Okay, all right. John?
Maybe another time.
Okay. All right. We got a lot to get through.
Yes, we do.
All right. So we're going to spin the wheel. Ooh, okay. Cursed and haunted objects will be the subject of our next podcast.
That's cool.
Yeah, which I have. I actually just got in the mail 2 supposedly cursed games.
That's why it happened.
That's
very
weird.
Cool.
And then we actually, Christy and I have supposedly, haunted objects that we've taken in, and are haunted objects. So that's something.
A dildo.
Yeah, haunted dildo for one. Yeah. So there's a few things on there too. So y'all be thinking about that though. So
sounds good. Sounds like fun.
Maybe my little onion boy can make an appearance.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And then I think, even that. Let's save it. Let's save it for the stream. All right. So I guess going around, Christy, thank you for coming on and joining us for the night. A lady of few words, but
good ones.
Good ones. Yeah, good words. Is there anything you'd like to close out with?
Nope, I'm just happy to be here.
All right. So Christy is also our mod for our stream typically, Wasabi Continuum. She also has a Twitch that she does not use, but she's on there. I'm not sure if she has any other social media plug that she would like to do, but if there's anything, you can throw that in there too, Christy. Anything?
TikTok.
Yep. TikTok. Is it Wasabi Continuum on TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay, so Wasabi Continuum on TikTok. It's a lot of cat videos.
Oh, they're good.
So, alrighty. Mikey?
Find me on OnlyFans. Long one.
Long one. Yep.
Look, I don't care how long you say it. One is not that long.
It's only 4 letters.
It's like the size, like the length of your thumb, the width of your thumb. Just one.
What does your OnlyFans content mostly consist of, Michael?
You have to pay to find out.
No, you gotta give me a teaser. You gotta give me a teaser if I'm gonna pay for it.
You gotta have some. PG-13 pictures before the R.
I think
I'll work on that.
I want your lewds in my inbox.
I can do that.
All right, John.
Treat yourselves, people. Believe, because there's fantastic things out there. What does it hurt to believe, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just broaden your horizons, even whether it's about monsters, cryptids, or just any old thing. Just be open to things. It'll really enrich your life, I believe.
Yeah. All right, John. You have an Instagram that you're pretty active on. Yeah. So John is
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Miss the Spike on there, or no, it's John Miss the Spike now, right?
No, that's my name on there.
Okay.
John Miss the Spike. Yeah, Mr. Miss the Spike. I've not posted in quite some time. I've actually been busy with my new job and lots of stuff going on with the family and stuff. But I need to get back at it. I'm feeling more froggy about it, and
good.
I might actually start going out and hoping I don't break my foot or my hip with my new bike I've got. We'll see.
So yeah, Mr. Mrs. Spike, and then you're also on Twitch at Mr. Mrs. Spike. He does stream. I think it's been 2 weeks since your last stream, but yeah. Flucy's first on there, and then he also has Strangers When We Meet. So I think is that across all social media too?
Yeah. Strangers When We Meet on Facebook and Instagram, and I think
TikTok. I think. Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Shows this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, we have a show Friday. Anybody local in Kingsport that wants to come down to Flanagan Brothers Beer House. It's on Eastman Road. We're going to be playing from 6 to 9 Friday for their grand opening ceremony. They seemed to like us when we came out and played. We just played 5 songs the other night. We opened for a friend of ours, and they really liked us and wanted us to come back out with a full band. So
awesome.
We're going to have a good old time. We're going to try to live stream it. So anybody does that can catch us probably on Facebook. Facebook's the one that Jay's really good about streaming on. We don't have that many followers on Instagram, or else I'd do it too. Maybe I should anyway. I don't know. But
that's how you build a following. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, is that it, John? Or
that's it for me, Doug. What are your final words?
So. Well, yeah, I think I agree with everything John said. Keep broaden your horizons. Go out there and find the unknown and make it not so unknown anymore. So, get out there, have an imagination, have fun, live a life of whimsy. Go explore and pull off the beaten path. If you see something interesting on the side of the road, unless it's a body in West Virginia, pull over and check it out. I know Christy's been traveling a lot too. She's been getting a lot of cool pictures, and whenever I used to travel a lot for work too, and sometimes whenever I still do, if I see something interesting out there, I go and explore it. I think a lot of the times, we as children, we have this wild imagination and sense of adventure, and we tend to lose that over the years, and thankfully I'm starting to find that again a little bit more. We don't get questions unless we don't get answers to questions unless we ask the right questions, unless we go and we actually find the answers. So get out there, look around. If you see something interesting, go check it out, whether it's a small town or a unique building or a unique monument or anything. I promise you'll have a story to tell. So be storytellers. Past that, though, you can find me on here. Captain Bowie on Twitch, where I stream games and have a weekly podcast with my bros for 20 years now, over 20 years now. We're all old middle-aged men, except for Michael. He's only 24. Past that, I'm on TikTok at Captain Bowie, where I talk about like video games and have video game memes and and interesting facts about video games. I'm a big gamer. And then I'm working on a new one where it's Hainted Herbie. And I have a fairly inactive Instagram, but you can also find me on Instagram at the Uncanny Doug Herbert. So yeah, I think that's about it. So
Doug is also a very good video editor and cinematographer. So why don't you play that video
one more time? We're gonna send you out with our new video. So you all have a good night, and what's a good thing to end on?
Boobies. Oh wait.
Well,
sorry.
no, we remember that. Don't be alarmed by aliens.
I've seen your nipples.
Yeah. Aliens are just as socially awkward as you, so be patient with them.
Yeah,
if they come out as killer clowns, greet them. All right. Good night, everyone.